In this video, we will learn about Angular Form Array. Form Array tracks value and validity status of an array of form control or an array of form group or an array of form array itself. So form array is basically an array that will contain in the form of array. The element can be form control, form array or form group. So we use form array in our form in the scenario when suppose we have to enter a hobbies of a person. So a person has entered 2 hobbies, he wants to enter more hobbies. So dynamically he can add more text input and then enter the hobbies, or we can uh, add dynamically a group of form control. Suppose we want to enter persons, so we can write like add more person, and every person can contain id, name, location. So this group will be as a form group, and as we can add more than one form groups, so this will be a form array containing form group. So these are the scenarios where we can use form array. So let us see how to create it. First of all, we have to create form group. As we create, in my example, I have a library and that will contain books. Okay, so look at here. This is the library form. This will be the instance of form group. Okay, and it contains a name, library name, that is a form control type. Now, books is a form array type that will contain form control. Initially, it has 3 form control. Form control 1, 2, 3. At runtime, we can also add more form controls, or we can remove 2. Look at this. Suppose I have also to add librarians. Then what I am doing is here that librarian will also be a form array, but that will contain a form group. Look at here, librarians, form array. This is a type of form group, and I am adding form group, and every form group has 3 form controls: id, name, city. At runtime, we can add more librarians, or we can remove 2. Okay. Now let us see how we will bind it in our HTML template. So the form is library form. Look at here. First of all, use form group with the form, and it will bind the form group. This was the library form, and we use form group and bind it as a property binding. Name, form control name. This is a form control. Here name. Simply we have added it. Now let's see the form array. How we will do this. First, here in our example, we have 2 form array, books and libraries. We can create getter methods for these 2, books and libraries. Look at here, I have created getter methods. Books will return form array of books, and librarian getter method will return form array of librarians as a form array. Now come to here. This is for the books. Use @for, okay, to iterate the form array. But first of all, use form array name to associate book form array. This is your book form array, and use form array name to associate your form array. Then I will iterate it. To iterate, I am using @for. Then books, this is the getter method. Here I have created this one, and if I call it, it will return FormArray. And when I write books.controls, we get all the controls of the FormArray, and track B, I will give the index, and then it will iterate all the FormArray, all the form controls of the FormArray, and bind it using form control name and assign the index. Here I have two more things, that at runtime I can reset this FormArray or we can remove it. Okay, to reset this, I have a method reset control. Reset control, I will get the index, and then FormArray has a method add method and pass the index, and this will return the form control at that index and call then reset, and it will reset the specific form control inside the FormArray. In the same way, remove book, it will pass the index, remove book. Okay, we can call the remove at method and pass the index. This will remove the form control at that index. Now let's see how we will bind our form array that contains the form group. Librarian is an array that contains the form group. Use form array name, bind it with librarian, then use @for librarian.controls. Librarian is here. Oh, sorry, getter method. Getter method, and this will return the form array. On this I am calling the controls track. This is L of librarian's control, so track L, again get the index, and inside this loop first use form group name, bind with index, and now it has three form controls. For each one of these, use form control name and bind id name city. Id name city is where each form group, this contains id name city. Now we can, if we add dynamically the form groups, then we will get all the form groups as many times as we will add. Here I am adding here. Look at here, add more librarian. So what we will do here, add librarian, I am creating a method. Look at here, add librarian. Use push method, we can add dynamically control to the form array using push method. So look at here, librarians dot push, and I am adding the form group in the same format as I have created with the form id name city. Look at here, id name city. So if I call add librarian, this will add more librarians. Okay, we will run it and we will see it. I have one more method, add book. This will add more controls here like this, and add book. Again I am using the push method and pass the new form control. Now let's run it. One more thing I would like to, after submit, this is a submit button, and once we submit, on form submit method will be called on form submit, and to get the value of the form we will get like this dot librarian form dot value. And if you want to get the value of only form array, you can do it, use the getter methods. Suppose I have librarians and then value. For the books you can use books dot value. Okay, by this line we will get the complete data from the form, and by this line we will get the data of librarians form array, and by this line we will get the data of books form array here. Now let's run it. Okay, our application is running on localhost 4200. It's running. We get the three books controls because here I have added three form controls. Look at here, for the books I have added form control 1, 2, 3. If I remove one of this, we can see only 2. And we can also add it runtime. I have a method add more book, add book, and add book will push new form controls. Look at here, add more book. It's adding, and we can remove it. Okay, and if I enter value here, we can reset it. Okay, now this is I have only one librarian in my code. I have added only one form group. Okay, and it has id name city. We can see here librarian 1 id name city. If you want to add more librarian, call this method add more librarian. What will it do? This will call add librarian, and add librarian is adding the form group by using push method. So let's call it add more librarian. So calling it like this. Okay, now if we enter data, suppose I have one more librarian, and if we submit, we will get its data. Look at here. First is complete form. This is this only for librarians, and this is for books. Okay, we got this result from here. This gives the complete form, this gives the librarian form array, and this gives the books form array. In this way we can use form array in our Angular application. Okay, thank you.